My notes.
Don't
Where
rush, though. You've plenty time.
Can I say hi, Ellie, already?
Um, Probably in like a minute. It always takes a minute for everything.
Well, Ellie's not even online. Damn.
It is live. It takes a moment.
By the way, Edge, have you already done the mechanoids in the new DLC?
Yeah, I finished it. It's I feel like building the fucking queen, which takes like 30 days to craft, is just annoying. Because you call down these ships and then you basically kill your slaves and take out their brains and stuff like that. And then when you craft the queen, it's like, yeah, I will now take 30 days to incubate. And I was like, no, fuck that shit. What about you?
I mean, I've like held it back a little, but now I got like my tunneler and it's like super overpowered because it just keeps on mining everything.
Oh, I went for a new colony and I went with no requirement for sleep. That shit's OP.
Oh, I've got a vampire and that's so broken in combat.
Like, it's one of them is a night owl, and you would consider okay, he would sleep during the day, but since he doesn't need to sleep, is fine. But he just gets a permanent mood debuff from it. It's just like, no, I'm a night owl. I shouldn't be awake. It's like, yeah. Hello, Ellie. Hello, Suka.
Hi, Ellie. Hi, Suka.
What's up?
Mm-hmm.
No, but there's like an event where you get like vampires and that's so broken.
Mm-hmm. Right. Isaac, the stage is yours.
All right. So, let us do a small recap from start to finish. We all started with a small introduction per character, which then merged together into a meeting of everybody, and um, with everybody having their own specific reasons of continuing or joining each other in a group form. After traversing we will add the music in a second. After traversing the initial labyrinth of the forest, you all managed to arrive at a cave mount, and inside that cave, you met with a myriad of wolves. At least at the start, it looked like they were normal wolves, but after a little while, you saw that these wolves were anything but normal, and you were then met with a giant wolf that had a strange marking on its forehead. After doing battle with said wolf, the wolf became smaller, disappeared, and some of you managed to get their belongings back in case the wolf took those. Um, for Zolp himself, he unfortunately did not manage to get his coin back. This is still lost to the little Fae that ran away. As for Skux, who gained back his pendants, and Dolphane, who wait, Dolphane? Who the hell is Dolphane? No, anyways, that was a passing thought.
All right, I get it.
And as you've continued throughout the forest, you've managed to meet with a strange situation where a woman was fused to an oak tree called Quercusia. And she was just as, if not more, confused as to her current predicament as to why she was fused to a tree. After a myriad of interactions and questionings, Peter, together with Karkusia, managed to perform a small divination spell, which allowed her to peek into the possible future and she managed to recite a poem that would help you traverse the woods for those who have their wish as the end goal. Um, I think somewhere in the chat history, I'm copy pasted her name somewhere.
I've got lots of names copy pasted.
Um,
There it
She doesn't
is.
even remember herself. We'll just call her a Kakusi.
There we go. For those who were interested in the poem itself, it's this one. Now, you then decided to continue onwards away from the Druid Grove, and you've managed to arrive at a small village called Formenos. In that village, you've seen various points of interest, one being a statue at the middle of the village, another being a line of people lined up at the edge of the town close to the trees of the forest. Another one was a inn, which was owned by a old, nice lady called Famoria, and she kind of told some of you the current predicament of this little forgotten town, a little forgotten village. Another point of interest was a big house at the edge of town as well, in which you are currently conversing um, with an old man. I don't know if I showed you the image of said man before.
I think you did.
I think I did. And this man introduced himself as Nero. Let me just show it to you.
Oh yeah, the shopkeep. Mm-hmm.
Yes, so you were currently talking with him. If I'm not mistaken, the first interaction with him showed him to be a very direct character with, I suppose, the best way to explain it's no shits given. Um, and I think that's where we left off last time, maybe? I haven't looked at the VOD.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it
All
is.
right,
We
I
were in a little
suppose.
bit of a rush to get it done. Yeah.
All right, we will continue on from that. Let me first take a look at a few other notes that I might have put up for people. Mm, 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 mm. All right. Okay. I need to keep that for later. I'm just going to take a quick peek at some of your character sheets, and then we are good to go and continue. Um, one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Do I even have money? Oh, I have 2 gold coins. Let's go. Oh, huge. I'm rich. Loaded.
You'll be disappointed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she charges a fortune to stay.
I honestly forgot what what the
Well,
amount
well,
was.
well. I
But I
already
think you all
have my
paid
way
already.
planned around that.
Wasn't it
You
like
all-
half a silver per night or something?
No,
No, it
to
was
be
close to like
fair.
3 gold. I think I paid in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
All
I
right,
already have that planned out. Don't worry.
closed. Okay, good. So, let us maybe. I don't think you've done anything of buying or selling yet. Of the
I
people who were
think
in,
Skooks bought something, a knife to throw or something.
I think you did buy some throwing knives. Yeah, that is correct. Um, because it seems I didn't update my notes of what was and wasn't sold. Um, so, if I'm not mistaken, I said that there were a few weapons over here, potions over this side. I think I failed to mention a bookshelf over on this side behind where Nero was sitting. And I guess that was most of it. And a few simple armor racks over here, I think. All right. Let us continue off the moment that Skux paid for the knives. Nero is looking. Oh, let's first continue the music like you wished for. There we go. Okay. So Nero then looks at the rest of you, at Sabine, at Charles, and at Peter, with a straight face. And what about you guys? Are you gonna buy something or just leave?
I would like to approach him and ask him, would you perchance be able to repair medallions or even gloves?
Theirs? Unfortunately, no. Not me. I only buy and sell stuff, and that's it. Our, well, our previous, the closest thing we had to a blacksmith or fixer in this town is no longer with us.
Did he leave behind any, tools to repair stuff?
His house was at the edge of town. At the right side, conveniently, there is a window over here, and he points right outside to the most ruined house right on that edge.
Okay.
Over here.
Right.
You may try and go look there, but I'd highly advise staying away from the edges of the forest at all times.
Thank you.
Why should we stay away from the edges of the forest? There's forest everywhere anyway.
He looks intently at you and is like, stay away from the edge. Now, are you going to buy or sell something?
I'm good, thank you.
You
I
said
want to
he's
know where
selling
he gets his
weapons.
wear.
Yes. What are you specifically looking for?
A rapier.
I will already tell you that he has no such things.
Right. I'm going to cry in a corner.
He mostly has small utensils and knives, and just simple weaponry, no form of martial weapons, if I'm not mistaken. Let me take a look really quick. I don't do bullshit, because it is split between the two. I might have mentioned other stuff in the last thing, but let's just see. No. There we go. No.
It's fine then.
And then he looks at Sabine if she wants to ask something else.
Well, you say you buy and sell things. Where do your wares even come from, if everything is just this?
It is just the things we have left. The only form of normalcy that I can still have before the end.
The end? What do you mean with that?
If you want a complete story from somebody who has the patience, go talk to my wife, Amoria.
Yeah, I will thank him for his time, and then I will step outside.
Right.
Do you happen to have some poison flasks?
He does have some flasks at the edge of over here. Actually, let me update this a little bit because draw shape. There are actually 3 tables over here with potions. The first one over here has small potions. This one has mediums, and these one have large. On this side of the table, you will see 3 colors: red, green, and blue potions. And the same over here, and the same over here.
I'm assuming the green one is poison.
Well, you'll have to ask.
Is the green one poison?
That is indeed a basic poison potion.
So, well, it goes from small to big to bigger, Is that the potency of the poisons?
Or
No.
the concept of poison that you can apply to your weapon. These are the same poison but in greater quantity, meaning they have multiple applications. The small ones have a single use. The medium ones will have 2 uses, and the big
How much for
ones
the
will
big
have
one, then?
3. The big one is 50 gold.
Medium one then.
15 gold.
Small one then.
5 gold.
I will thank him for his time and then step out the door.
The poison is not easy to acquire.
I'm gonna buy 1 poison flask.
What are you talking about? They are in the forest and it's full of mushrooms, probably.
Probably. All right.
Well, you make
may
poison
add
then.
a single flask of poison and remove 5 gold from your inventory,
Yeah, I'll give it to Skux and say goodbye.
or
to
add
the
it to Skux. All right.
courier.
Oh.
Thank you.
As you exit
welcome.
the store, you hear a soft click, indicating that
Aw.
he probably closed the store right now.
What a bitch.
Skux, this means it's all free in there if we go back with our special entrance key.
Oh
Mhm.
yes, if we break in there, we could like just take the potions.
How about not breaking the law of a village we just entered in a magical forest?
What law? Who could enforce it? This old dude can't hold us back.
I mean, it
I-
does look like he doesn't need it
Fine, fine,
anymore.
fine. Let's go to the fixer's house like he suggested.
Sure.
So
I'm
that
no
was
thief anyhow.
up here, I believe?
That is correct, yeah.
Or is it now Zorb's turn again?
Let's just say that
Or is he
it
looking for us or
is-
something? Maybe?
No, so I think in my notes it said that Dolvain approached Zolb at that point, which is what prompted the quickly reapplying of the rat to his face.
Hmm.
Um, in any case, you still all have the options of doing multiple stuff. So you can go back to the center of the village, to the statue. You can go to the, ex-blacksmith's or fixer's house. You can go to the line of people at the edge of the forest, or you can go back to the inn. Who actually went to the inn at the start? Everyone?
No.
No, it was only me and Delving.
Okay, so the rest of you have not met Famoria yet. Okay.
I mean,
The choice is yours.
I'm
Should
interested
I-
in the house, but
Me too.
Should we go get the others first, maybe?
should we get Zorb? Yeah. Okay, then.
Dolphin magically
Also,
disappeared.
who has these magic artifacts that we found that were busted last time?
What magical artifacts?
Dependent.
The pendant and the gloves. I did
Well,
not
I
forget
gave the-
either.
I gave the gloves to Solb.
Yeah, I've got the gloves.
Okay, who has the pendant then?
I gave it to someone after identifying it.
Oh, is it maybe on?
Is it the
Sylvain?
gold? Is it the gold necklace with a red stone?
Yeah, that's the one I think.
Yes.
I have that.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think we should get Zorb and then probably go to the fixer's house.
Very well.
Let's head over then.
Alright.
So let's just, for the sake of having the same situation, you all approach the outside of the inn where you see Zolb next to a I would say a well with what is the correct term, English term again? At a water pump, where he is currently washing himself, with his strange beard currently not immediately attached to his face.
Can I roll perception and really identify it as a rat, please? Or is that animal handling?
It's obviously a rat.
Okay, thank you.
Can I revivify the rat?
Let's see.
Is it really dead also?
Is it a dead rat or still alive?
That rat.
Oh. Oh well.
All right.
Is there
Zolb,
dropping
how
event,
do
though?
they? What do they see when they approach you doing your thing?
They see a full moon.
Oh
They see a
no.
full moon, which means
Wait.
you are with your back to them, so you don't see or hear them. Okay. Go on, roleplay me the situation. Have fun.
I would like to make a wisdom saving throw if I fall into panic.
Me too then.
This will only apply if Zolb bends over, so don't worry.
Oh, I think I would have failed it.
I would like to look away. I would like to look away and call out to Zolp.
All right. Well, continue on. What would you like to do? How will this scene work out? You are the players.
I scream at
look
Zob to get anything over his fucking body right now.
I put my rat beard back on.
All right, you see Zolb
slowly walk behind.
just
you.
immediately looking back at him, like sees you guys, and he notices he doesn't have his beard, hashtag on, and he
Everyone's
just
leaving.
immediately snatches the hanging rat on the, and you hear like the splashing sound of the water that goes on his chin, and conveniently, like the rat tail goes like whoop right around his head and does a little twirl, and it's attached to his face again.
I have so many questions, Zob, but the number one question is, do you still have these gloves? Because there might be someone here. Oh well, someone may have left something here that we can use to repair them.
Oh, yeah, we have the gloves.
Yeah, Zolb, did you pay for everyone, or just for yourself when
No.
you were with Famoria?
Just himself, I think.
I asked for a room and some food. I got charged like 3 gold or something like that. So
All right, then it'll say the same for everybody else. Okay, there we go.
So,
Right.
do you want to give them to me, or do you want to get dressed and follow us? I'll show you where the house is.
we can follow you.
Right, please put on some clothes, and then I'll just step over the corner.
There is enough clearing above you to know that the sun is on the setting side.
Meet us at the statue, Zolp. I'll go to the statue.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh god, did you also have a wrap between your legs for a bush there or something?
That's all us.
Beer answers.
All right.
Right. Well then, let's go.
All right. So, as you approach the little side of the village where there are still houses, although a lot of them a bit more ruined, a bit more destroyed, not kept tidy. If you approach some houses, you actually see the light that is in them as the sun is still setting, like instantly go off. You hear some doors slap shut, some windows being like also snapped shut at the same time as you pass, indicating a bit more of an unwelcoming feeling. But you continue through and approach the appointed house. This one is a lot more ruined than the rest. You see 2 trees actually growing from the inside, bam, going outside from the top. Opening 2 giant holes in the ceiling. You see a few windows, a few of them broken, destroyed. One just still in place. The door itself has withered in a sense that there is a ginormous rotting hole in it as well. Some vines going out of it at the same time. Even from within the little lock side, you see multiple vines growing out of it. And that's mostly it. It's a pretty ruined house.
He wasn't a very good fixer by the look of his house.
Right.
Can I
We need to
do,
get in there.
perception check to see if the house will hold if we step inside.
Sorry, you want to do a perception check of what?
If the house will like stay one piece if we go inside.
Stable. If you go inside, you won't. Well, you don't need to do a perception check, but from just common knowledge or just common sense, you'd say probably, maybe not. Depends.
All right.
You'll have to see once you're inside the structure.
I'd like to
16.
use.
Sorry, what, Peter?
I wanted to say that I'll use Mage Hand to open the doors.
You want to use Mage Hand to open the door. All right. You weave your arcane magics and create an invisible hand that tries to, well, open the door. But you are met with a bit of a force, something that might keep it locked in a sense. But also you think that the vines might not make it easy to open or close the door from the other side.
I can probably go in from the top.
The two holes are big enough for anybody's size to probably enter from the top. Yeah.
Do you want a boost?
I wave my wings at him and say, I'll be fine, I believe.
Touché.
Right. You fly up on the roof. It is, I wouldn't say incredibly steep, but with how the roof is made, well, from what type of material it is made, you can have a decent stable footing. It is quite dark on the inside. Even with the sun setting, it is hard to make out a few things, so you'll probably need something of a light.
Okay, so this includes even my dark vision. I mean, I can only say shades of gray, right?
You can see shades of gray, that's for sure, but you can already deduce that it is quite dark around the inside.
Let me see if, I mean, a torch might not be the way to go. I shout down to them, does anyone have magical means of light?
No.
Cool, love it.
I can make a light brighter, but I can't think I can make light.
Oh wait a second.
I can set the house on fire if you want.
Good answer, but probably not right now.
No, never mind.
No.
Well, you can still continue on with your dark vision.
I mean, the best I can do is create fire around my hand.
Okay, I will descend into the house anyway, for now.
All right. So the house is, I wouldn't say incredibly big. It's probably a third of what you saw in Nero's shop. And just as you saw it ruined on the outside, it's just as ruined on the inside. Multiple furnitures being toppled over, either by the growing trees that strangely aren't growing from the bottom, but actually grew in from the side of the house and then went upwards. Multiple vines from these same tall trees actually expanded everywhere inside the house, almost, I wouldn't say like a spider web-ish, but like you will have to like move a few vines to the side. They aren't that tight that you can't move around, but you'll have some issues if you don't retract your wings while moving through it.
Yeah, okay.
Also watch out for your horns.
Is there like a light source, anything here, a candle I can grab or anything?
There are a few candles on the side atop of a small stove.
Okay.
Which is destroyed completely and rusted.
Can I make my way to that rusted stove and take one of these candles?
Yes, it's very simple. There is nothing that hard in the way. You have just to move a few vines, a few leaves that are annoying you.
Yeah,
But for
I
the rest,
will push these out of my way and just shove my way over to that fireplace. I'll take one of these candles, make sure it's not near a wine or anything that I believe would be burnable. I'll take out my tinder box and I light it.
All right. You open the light with the candle, and of course, considering your dark vision, it's kind of like initially very bright, so you kind of squint your eyes at first with the immediate light, and then as you see everything a bit more clearly, you hear a faint rustling sound at the moment where everything is a bit like very light, but then it's still, and then once you focus your vision, you see the house again, just as you entered it. Curiously enough, the vines are a bit more retracted.
Do I sense anything in this room that is alive? Like, the rustling, is that the tree that moved away from me? Or is there something jumping around here?
Make me perception check, considering you now have better vision.
Okay, let us have a look at how shite I will roll today. That is good.
You try to use your eyes as a ranger would, very detailed, to look around and whatnot. You don't see anything that would be lived in, or like
Okay.
anything that a living, organic, sentient being would, leave behind in a sense. The rustling was weird, and now that the vines are a bit more retracted, is a bit weird. But other than that, you don't see anything else around you.
Okay, I have
but
an
with that-
idea.
Sorry.
I will. Oh, are you not done? Sorry.
No, sure, you can go on. You can do it.
Noticing that the forest is apparently not too fond of the light, I would like to take the candle and walk towards the door and wave the flame near the vines and everything.
As you do so, they do retract from the light away, going out of the lock and away from the rotted hole that is in there. It's like they aren't. It's kind of like the reverse of when you were trying to run after the wolf when you were split up. When the vines were coalescing together, these are retracting away from the door. Yeah.
Okay, I open the door.
The door opens, and you see the rest of your allies looking at you, like, what happened?
And I'll tell them it looks like the plants here really despise fire. And then I show them the inside, and here we are.
Are the plants holding the building up, though?
That's a
Let
good
me
point.
think about this. I would say, with how the vines are around the house and with the two trees trunks that are going literally upwards in the ceiling, that they would contribute to a part of keeping it up.
As long as we don't scare off the tree itself, I believe it should stay stable.
Somehow, I feel like scaling off a tree is quite an impossible feat, even after what you've explained.
Treat it with fire and it might as well get scared.
Can everybody tell me their passive perception?
13.
Or just write it in the chat.
13.
Okay, continue on.
Okay, who wants to search around? We maybe shouldn't go all in at once.
I'm a pretty good investigator.
We would have an idea of what we're looking for.
I'll hold the candle between the two and tell them, one of you.
I'll go in. I'll light all the candles up.
All the candles, okay.
Some of them are laying downwards.
I put them so they do not pose the risk of burning the house down or something else.
Alright, so as you place the candles in a convenient spot and light them up, you do see that more and more of the vines retract away from the sources of the light. Not in the way that is fearful, but more of like just, getting out of the way when somebody's trying to pass through. So now you have a bit of a more clearer form of the environment. Again, you see the little stove on the side that is completely rusted and destroyed where the candles originally were. You see a completely rotted away table at the center of the room. You see also a wooden set of stairs, rotted at some parts, also enveloped completely by vines. And you see a little chair, and on the side of the chair you see a small little pouch hanging.
I'll see what's in the pouch.
It jiggles, and within it you find 5 golden pieces.
Money. Everyone gets 1 gold.
Oh, a good boy.
Thank you kindly.
We thank you as well.
Oh wait, Charles, you have 16. Okay. As you were,
What?
I didn't see you enter your perception. I thought everybody did it. So for you, while you were talking with Sabine, or while Sabine was asking Peter or Xolp, one of them, to enter with her inside the house, you hear like a little scuffling behind the big house that is literally below you on the side. What do you do?
Scuffling.
Like somebody who is, for example, walking on a surface ground with a lot of rocks, and it kind of like makes a scraping noise, so you hear like a misstep.
Oh, outside.
Yeah.
Okay. I like hear something, so I like turn away from the group and like look around the corner.
So, well, you just can look, not really walking towards it, but as you do so, you see I wouldn't say a shadowy figure, but like a small figure that is just far enough for you not to immediately see what it is. You hear a small gasping noise, and then it just goes away from the corner, and you hear a little like small footsteps, kind of like running away.
Me thinking it's just one of the village youth, I will look away and pretend like nothing happened.
Okay, well, the rest has not noticed it, so. Okay, so we go back inside the house. What will you guys do now?
Sabine, have you tried the candle around the stairs?
There's stairs?
They're
Yeah.
upstairs.
No, I haven't. But I'm quite sure that the tree will, well, the veins will allow you passage as long as you wave it in front of it.
Oh, I'll take a candle and walk towards the stairs.
All right. As you approach the stairs, the vines themselves also like retract them a little bit, opening a few spaces for your feet to actually touch the rotting stairs. They do make a faint creaking noise as you go upwards. Going all the way up into the house, it actually there are another set of stairs that go again upwards, but this time the entire top floor is littered with thicker vines, like insane. It's like a bulk of the tree that has completely enveloped this little hallway, barring any form of entrance further into that part of the house. So there is another set of stairs that can go upwards again.
I'll try to go more upwards.
This time you are at the other hole where the other tree went upwards, because I said that there were 2 holes going upwards. Sabine went into one that actually directly descended into the bottom floor. This one is a bit more on the backside of the house, which actually stretches a bit more further, which is, at least initially you thought it was a smaller house, but it actually is big enough, and you are actually now within I would say an office-ish. You see many tables spread over with many ruined scrolls destroyed, lost to time and elements, and again vines going left and right. You see an old grandfather clock at the entire center, at the end of the well, I wouldn't say hallway, at the end of the room in the center, both the arrows of the clock pointing downwards, and you see, like I said, a few tables with a few scrolls that are completely destroyed. You see some shelves with more books and scrolls. You see old destroyed quills and destroyed ink that has degraded and is useless. You see a few bags as well at the edge, just holding completely rotted scrolls once more. This could have been the office of this blacksmith for ideas. Oh, and you see a little chest at the left side of the grandfather clock.
Okay. Sabine, could you come up here and help me?
Yeah, I hear this, and I will move up the stairs as well.
Right. You see the same things that
Mhm.
that Peter saw.
Yeah, I look at Peter and it's so the chest, or what are you looking at?
I will go through the scrolls and books, and I think you can search the chest, so it's faster.
All right. So
Okay.
as you go through the scrolls and the open papers that are there, even though destroyed as whatnot, you can indeed see designs and blueprints of this. Well, tinker would be the correct term rather than a blacksmith, as you see many different contraptions that could have been used. One of these actually is the water pump that you saw. Zolb use with an entire design around it. Another one actually is a design that it's kind of like shredded and destroyed, but it shows the outline of the grandfather clock that you are looking at from the other side. Another one is just a blank slate with on the top something written in Old Elvish. You can't immediately discern. And another one. Nope, that's about it. The rest is either completely faded out or destroyed.
All right, I'll take the scroll with the water pump.
I would like for you to roll a sleight of hand on this one. We're talking about old, to the element lost scrolls that need a delicate hand to use or be destroyed. It's destroyed. As you try to peel the pieces of the scroll for the water pump, you actually hear that noise as it was stuck and at some point parts on the table, and it literally shreds in a few pieces and parts.
Gotta take this. Any luck on your chest?
Yeah, I'll walk to the chest, and first I'm gonna have a look at it from the outside. I wanna see the sides, I wanna see if it has a lock.
Alright, roll me a perception check then.
Okay.
Alright, so the chest itself is completely against the wall on its backside, and on the right side it is also completely against the grandfather clock. Looking at the front and left side of the chest, you don't immediately see any form of contraptions or strange markings. It is as basic of a chest as can be, but it does have a little lock on the front. Well, not really a lock, but like an entrance for a key. No, sorry, the lack of an entrance for a key.
I look over to Peter and say, something's fishy about this chest, but I believe it might have something to do with the clock.
All right. In that case, I would like to investigate the clock and referencing to the scroll with.
All right, roll me investigation with advantage.
Oh, let's go. That's what I'm good at.
Indeed, you are at an 18. At an 18. All right. As you look over the grandfather clock design on the paper, you are a bit. How do you say this? It has the standard contraptions that are needed to create one clock of such a design, but with the materials that are used and the general machinations that are, written next to it, it is really strange to have that complex of machinations just for the telling of time, which would indicate indeed another function that the grandfather clock could have. Looking more closely to the design, it would have to do something with the what is the name again of the
Pendulum?
no, not the pendulum. The pointers that show the time itself.
Hands.
The hands
okay.
of the clock.
All right. It seems it has to do something with the hands of the clock itself. Probably a certain time.
What does the time on the paper show?
Both of them are pointing towards 6. Oh, sorry, not on the paper. In reality, the time of the clock, both are pointing downwards. On the paper, one is pointing left and one is pointing right. The short one is pointing right and the big one is pointing left, showing 3 3/4.
Let's try that. Let's try to set the hands like that, if it's possible.
All right. So you open the glass container where the for the grandfather clock, and you push both hands to the exact point of where the clock has to be, and then you hear a faint clicking sound, and then the big door where the 2 classical handles, is that the correct hang from the grandfather clock, are visible and now approachable by you.
So the door opened, not the chest.
No, the door opened.
Alright.
Good thinking, Sabine. Let's see what we open. I guess I approach it and see what's there.
So the grandfather clock had the original casing where you could then touch the hands, and then there are the if you know, most grandfather clocks have those 2 hanging lines of rope in the middle with another casing. That casing opened when you put the 2
Pendulums.
The pendulums, yeah.
All right. Are they set differently on the paper?
These 2
Yeah.
pendulums are on equal length. So from top to bottom, they're are equally in length. With your knowledge and your, at least what you saw in the design, normally grandfather clocks would have 2 different lengths for the pendulums.
Mm-hmm. Any bright ideas?
My adventure brain tells me we might have to pull one of them a slight bit down. But I have no indication on which one. Is there anything you can learn from this, or the papers, or anything?
I'll try to reference the paper again.
With the how, like I said in the beginning, this grandfather clock design is already half faded out from the time, so you can't really make out much more of it than what you initially saw.
Clock running.
Nothing on the paper. I guess trial and error.
Trial and error. Be my guest, then. I'm not going to ruin it.
Good point.
Should we ask the others? Maybe they have ideas.
Sure. Let's go down.
We're going down, and I will tell Skirks. Skirks, have you ever worked with clocks?
Do I look like a clock worker to you?
You're the hero after all. You know everything, don't you?
I think he's silently staring at you.
Yeah, I will just look at her.
Fine. Upstairs stairs. Peter and the clock is somehow related to the chest. There's probably riches in there or something, but it's too far ahead for my feeble mind, so maybe some of you should go up there. Not all at once, it doesn't look all that stable though.
Skux will go up to check the box, and I would like to take a perception roll and see if I can see anything interesting mechanics for it.
For the chest?
Yeah.
Alright, roll me a perception check. It's a normal chest. At least without a lock that you have, without a keyhole lock that you can put in or something.
I would also like to check if there's... Well, actually, I will look back at... Who was upstairs again?
Peter.
I will look at Peter and ask, did you actually try to open this?
No.
And then
Sabine-
I will try and see if I can lift the the lid up.
It doesn't work. There is a force stopping you from opening
Yeah,
it.
I tried to.
I'd like to. Could I use some Arcana to check, see if I can sense any magical?
Sure, you can do Arcana if you wish to try and sense something magical.
Never mind.
Yeah, I guess I don't need to explain much more. It's not enough.
You should maybe ask Peter what he thinks you should do. That we already established that we know. That I already told you that it's the clock.
Indeed.
I can't think of anything.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You got my back, right?
Sure.
All right.
Do I see him disappear?
You see him like go up in a poof of smoke.
Oh boy.
I just like, bruh.
Well, poof of smoke. You still
Right.
see him, but he's just very stealthy.
Do the thing, Peter.
I'll use my mage hand and move the left weight a bit higher if it's possible.
Okay, 1 second.
I'm so glad I'm out the house already.
I mean, the left weight is the one that keeps the clock running and it goes up in time, so that would like make the clock stop if it's all the way up. So
I'm
Are
not
we
the clock maker.
actually referencing real clocks right now, Isaac?
All right.
I know.
No, not real clocks. I'm doing something else. Okay, so you push it upwards, and you do hear a sound again, and then the clock actually goes like the big hand of the clock actually goes all the way upwards, and then you hear it go, the 3 times. It chimes 3 times, and then the chest opens.
Let's go. Huge.
I'm a genius.
There is nothing inside. No, I'm joking.
Is there a false bottom?
Is that that's
Look
maybe a
at
thing
what
for
is in
another
it
time.
first before you decide
It's a
what's under
mimic.
it.
No, just kidding. So within it, you find a medium-sized pouch. You find some tools that would be used. So basically, tinkerer's tools.
Nice.
In it, of fairly still good quality. Seemingly that the inside of the chest is also still like not touched by the elements at all, indicating that it is a chest meant to preserve items within. You also find a singular red potion, indicating that it could be a potion of healing. And you also find, what do I have here? A small book. Small notebook.
I'll take
That's
the
what you find.
notebook.
All right. You take the notebook and leave the pouch and the potion in.
What's in the pouch?
The Tinkerer's tools.
All right. You take and the tinkerer's tools as well are there. So you take the pouch and it jiggles.
Cash.
How much
And-
jiggles it?
How much jiggles? You find 15 jiggles in it. 15 gold pieces.
I look at you.
With the 20 stealth? I don't know what you're talking about. It's just floating in the air.
I'll go.
It jiggles.
It jiggles in the
I will give 3 gold to each.
Good
All right, may
boy.
all add 3 golds to
I-
each. So, the notebook. When you open the notebook, you actually find a diary. Specifically, you see that the diary is from a male elf called Aris,
Mm.
spelled like this.
Iris.
Yes, Aris. Okay, sure. Skux, you can add Tinkerer tools to your inventory. These tools can indeed be used and for a myriad of um, situations revolving around either small contraptions to the fixing of small objects like clocks or mechanical things like maybe the water pump on the outside of Fomoria's.
From an
Fomoria's inn.
outside game perspective, tinkering which build on what skill? Like if you said roll me tinkering, there's obviously no tinkering.
Oh,
But-
tinkering would then be mostly attributed. Let me take a look at the skill list. To be fair,
Sleight of hand.
It comes as a tool.
well,
tool
I
skill,
suppose there is sleight of hand in it because you do need to be very delicate when working with these kind of things. But there are delicate tinkerings and there are then big tinkerings like with the well pump. I would say it would be an intelligence and a dexterity thing.
Wouldn't it be wisdom and dexterity?
Because you need to be intelligent knowing how to create something like that.
Okay.
Right up my alley.
Right up your alley.
But
I
yeah,
think it would
continue,
depend on
continue.
what you're doing with the tools. Exactly. If you're doing something, if you're working
Yeah,
out how to use it
exactly.
would be intelligent. If you're doing them, it might be dexterity.
Yeah.
If you're, for example, trying to fix something, first of all, you'd have to identify the problem, which would be an investigation check. Then you would have to fix it, which I would then, depending on what it is, ask you for a sleight of hand check or another intelligence check to see if you can intelligently or deftly fix the item itself. We'll see as we
Yeah,
go
okay.
towards it, but that's the general sense of what you
Okay.
can do with it. So I said it was Aris. Right. So that's it. That's what you found. Also, the potion is still there.
Just
Do
take
you
it
want
for
the
now.
potions, Cux, or like?
You can just take it.
I'll take the potion.
Right. You may add a potion of healing to your inventory. All right. Just for reference, on the outside, the sun is slowly reaching the edges of the trees, indicating it becoming a bit more nightly timed.
Guess it's time to head back in. Rest up.
Sure.
Okay, are you gonna tell us what you found or
No.
no?
We-
Okay.
He just gives you
I-
gold and we leave.
Yeah, I gave you 3 gold and leave.
We
Really?
have
You're not
notebook.
gonna tell us? Okay.
If you all go outside, Peter is looking intently inside that little notebook while Skux just like ding, like flicks out all gold pieces into everybody's hands. Everyone's like, whoa, 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 as you try to catch it, not falling into the ground.
Skux will just assume that you realize what was in the chest.
All right, what would you guys like to do now?
I want to see the notebook because I'm fascinated with books and reading.
I mean, sure. Be my guest.
So
All
can I just take it for a moment and just go through some pages and see what this is about? Not like in detail, but like it gives me an idea what kind of book this is.
All right. As you open the first few pages, you can already see dates marked on the pages. Very tiny designs, but also just a daily life. So you would assume that you're looking at a small diary.
Do I recognize the dates, as in my timeline, or is this like way out of here?
It's so the first page indicates. Let me take a look. If she was.
Is this like 500 years in the future or past?
There
do they
isn't
even-
a there isn't a age set on, but it all starts with like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. And from day 1 at the first page, as you read it, you see that Aris is specifying the first day when the village was surrounded by trees.
Okay. I hand it back to Peter and tell him, Peter, if you don't want to have this right now, I'd like to read it overnight. But yeah.
We can share.
I'm not looking to share a room with you, however.
That's not what I meant.
FBI, open up. She is very young.
We can take a look at it, both of us at the same time.
Right,
It's
we
a
can
small
get some
notebook.
dinner and look over it. Yeah.
Over a glass of wine. How
No.
romantic.
Stop.
No glass of wine. We're
Right.
working here.
Yeah, we're working. All right, let's make our way to the inn, boys.
Sure.
All right. So you're all approaching the inn. While you are approaching the inn itself, you actually see Famoria, well, at least Zolb it is seeing Famoria just wipe the front porch of the inn with a small broom. She then hears you all approach step by step. Is like, oh well, hello there, little. It was the dwarf, was it?
We clean now. Can we come in?
Yes, I can sort of smell that. Why do you still have that thing around your neck?
We're not gonna shave.
I don't think that's shit. Never mind. She then looks at the. Charles, what the hell happened to your icon? Set it back up.
I was gonna say, what the hell?
Charles, behave.
It's just like, oh, you brought some of your friends you talked about. Please come in. The sun is setting, and it does become chilly as without it warming up the place.
We found them
she
in the
opens-
forest. You can fleece them too.
She just continues as she shakes her head. Just for reference, I'm going to show you what you see again.
Yeah.
Right. So this is how you all see it. The entrance is over here. The few stairs over here, here. These two sides are a bit blocked off with going, to the back of the inn. And Famoria is now standing behind the counter and looking at you, waiting for you to approach.
Right, it's gonna be a bit cozy, I feel.
Did I actually eat my meal that I bought earlier, or did I just go out and wash?
You went out to wash and then didn't come back, so she probably still has it on the side.
We leave it cold. It's fine.
It's fine. All right. So she's waiting at the counter for you guys.
Need a room.
Well, aren't you just as direct as my husband? All right. 3 gold pieces, and you can have as a warm bed to sleep in and a warm meal to wake up to and go to sleep with.
I will slap 3 gold coins on the counter. I'll look back and be like, on a Megi getting a room?
Oh, God's headset broke.
God is dead. We are
Oh,
free.
Oh no.
Quick,
Burn it all
loot
down.
everything. Add all the things to your inventory.
Okay.
And burn everything down.
Everyone, add 10 platinum coins.
Remember to put a bucket over her head first.
Skyrim moment.
Okay. Nothing a little bit of just
Damn it.
smashing the headset on the floor doesn't fix.
Nice.
There we
No
go.
wonder it doesn't work.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably buy a new one. She asks the same for everybody else who approaches her.
I'll put down 3 coin. Though I'll ask, isn't it a bit overpriced?
See if you can get a better deal.
She looks at you and says, "These are the prices I've always been using in my 600 plus years, lassie."
Very well.
I'll just go outside and sleep outside for the night.
Okay. Seeing that everyone is already done with her, I would like to approach her and ask her if she would give a tormented soul asylum here.
Yeah, well, that's nice.
Will
Damn,
she?
punches
Roll me
you
a
in the face.
perception check.
Perception check. Okay,
A
interesting.
persuasion check. Sorry.
Persuasion.
We'll start
Oh,
with a
I'm
P.
great at that one.
So, I was already looking at some things for you while you were talking to her, so this might as well fit in it. So I suppose Peter paid, Zol paid, Skux paid. Correct?
All but Charles,
Correct.
yeah.
Charles went like, "Nope, this shit I'm out." Right?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Sabine. So even before you tried to persuade her with your trait for a potential free stay, she looks a bit at you and very intently, just to speak. Her eyes are, normally with the age they are like a bit shut, as you saw them in the picture that I showed you. But then they open up, revealing red scarlet eyes, and I wouldn't say surprised, but very strong intent, just as how Nero had red eyes, she as well. And she takes in a little breath and out, and holds her hand out and gestures you to probably also hold her hand.
I see that she is very serious about this, and I don't think I sense any ill intent, so I reach my hand out as well.
He places her other hand over your hand as well, but basically clasping yours between her two hands, and she breathes in and out, and her eyes closes again. Is like, "Oh, dear child, I feel a very negative energy coming from you. I haven't felt these kinds of magics in a long, long while."
Well, it's been a bit rough recently. There are some things that I need to get rid of.
She opens her. She looks away from where your hand is, and actually looks a bit more towards your chest area.
Oh, okay.
A bit more focus over there. It's like, "I see, child, but I would say..."
Do you know
that you're
anything
not-
about this? How do I get rid of it?
I wouldn't say that I know what you can do against this, but this type of magic is very dangerous, child. The closest I can attribute this to anything is the act of misfortune.
Well, explain me what the act of misfortune is.
Act of misfortune, in the general sense, is that everything bad happening around you will affect you in turn.
In what way?
I wouldn't know any more than that. I haven't seen these magics in so long. And she then lifts her hands away from yours and says the following: "I would advise you, child, to not mix yourself in with too many bad moments. They might make things worse for you."
Bad moments.
And she then looks at you and is like, for you, child, considering what I just sensed, you can stay free this night.
I thank her for all the things she's told me, as well
This was,
as
by the way,
rest.
done in a bit like a silent conversation. None of you
Yeah.
saw, hear, or heard this, by the way.
Okay. Misfortune. Oh, great. Okay. I thank her.
All right. She then also saw Charles walk out, what was strange for her, but she then shrugged and continues her own things. She sets out a small. She sets out a few plates of food for you all, for Sabine, for Skux, for Solp, and for Peter, for you all to consume. A warm soup, a warm tea, some crackers, some cookies, and some venison that has been warmed, although in small portions, but all together would fill up decently. And she then gestures to a set of stairs behind the counter over here, and is like, follow the stairs up. Left is for the women, right is for the men. For each of you, in order of who purchased, it is the first, second, and then the third room, or fourth if there were more, and those are your rooms individually. So for Sabine, you would have to go to the left. Zolp, Skux, and Peter would have to go to the right. The first one would be for Zolp, the second one would be for Skux, and the third one would be for Peter. Just for roleplay purposes.
Get on my road, Skux.
Do you all wish to go to sleep? Or is there anything else you would like to do in your nightly activities?
I think someone was going to read a book, weren't they?
How can Peter and me just have dinner and just read that notebook?
Oh, during the dinner? Sure. All right. So, this is gonna be a little big. So let me open my note on this thing.
Oh boy, here we go.
Give me my notes.
Can you make it an audio book for Zolb?
How about you just relook the VOD and the stream of Edge, and you're gonna be fine. All right. So, I'm gonna probably have to do some edits here as well. Where is this?
I used handouts for this in my campaign. It felt like pretty good, like when I gave the letter to anyone and they could just read it themselves.
Yeah, that would be cool if this wasn't an on-the-fly situation.
Oh. If it's too complicated, we can just, for the sake of it, postpone it a little bit and we say it's a little bit too late and we'll probably check tomorrow or something.
It's fine. I do like to challenge myself on things
All
on the
right.
fly and then developing it as it goes. Honestly, this is just how character progression happens as well. You on the fly decide to do something. I have to then decide how the story continues depending on it. I'm just making a few core points on it, and then we will go on as. Okay, so let us start off with the first day. As you open the notebook and see everything neatly worked in by Aris, you see that he's talking about the strange sightings of the trees around the actually, he isn't talking about a village, he's talking about a city. And he says that this has never happened before and that he is quite confused, but that he should not be wavered from his work as he's trying to complete a little work that he was commissioned to do. And that was day one. Let's just do this in compartments. Day 2 to day X. He is talking about the fact that day by day, week by week, the forests around the village tend to become denser and denser. People who are going out either are going missing or come back at a certain point, but never the same. He is talking in another page, you see him talk about what he's tinkering, what people are asking again, what he's creating at that point. You also see him talking about his wife, but no name was given immediately. He's either saying sweetheart, lovely, or honey, or any form of endearing languages that can be used by Elvish community. Okay, so tell me who is not a simp for his or her wife. All right, there we go. Okay, Ellie, I understand if he's not here the next time for potential reasons. So, as we continue on, the notebook states how at some point a couple tried to leave the city and trying to find, a way out. It was a young couple, an elvish couple, both out of 30 summers. They were away for a week. Then the man came back. For him, only 2 hours passed. A few minutes later, an old lady came in, and that old lady was his wife, who had aged 380 years in her time. For her, a week that has passed was equal to 380 years. For her husband, only a few hours had passed. Or an hour, I don't remember. Which was already a very strange occurrence for Aris to note in that notebook. He continues on forward about his own personal life, explaining more about the fact that he is, because Elvish communities mostly work in a caste system with a hierarchy, going from nobles to commoners to undercommoners, and then to slaves and or poor caste. He is more of the common caste. He then continues on talking about certain religious aspects about Sylvanus and the lot. Not immediately something of noteworthy, although if you go more and more towards the end of the book, it starts to become very strange. His wording become more and more sporadic, and his days, rather than being more detailed, explained, even less about his notes and whatnot. He talks about how everybody is starting to go crazy, how the forest is slowly more and more encompassing the city, going from a city to a town, and from a town to a village in terms of sizes, people going missing and just having no way out. He then also talks about the fact that his wife, around the end of the book, also was gone missing, and left him and her child, both of their child, alone. And then the final page tells him that he apologizes to Flora. You don't immediately see who that is, but he apologizes to Flora and says that he can't deal with this anymore and has to end it. And that's where the notebook ends.
Well, I'll look at Peter and say, fascinating. Another cursed forest.
Truly.
I'll leave the book with him. He found it, and then I will make my way to my room.
You can add Aeris's notebook into your inventory.
Nice.
What would you like to do now?
I'll go to my room, the third one.
Oh, I might have not mentioned an important part. The city's name was called Onirios. Sorry, Onirio.
Like this? Or do you have some fancy writing?
No. Just Onirio.
Okay.
Oh, so what? No. That was the previous iteration. Oniro. Oniro.
Oniro. Okay.
That was the name of the city.
Did they share that with the rest of us, or was it kept between them? Or
I have no idea.
I
That's
didn't
what
share
you
it
have
because I
decided.
forgot, honestly.
I hadn't shared yet.
All right, so I suppose you all would like to go to sleep in some form or way?
I'll tell
Before
you
that,
tomorrow.
I go outside and ask Charles why isn't he paying.
It's way too expensive, my dude. Plus, I don't trust this village, so I will stay awake for the night.
You will stay awake.
Yep.
You do know that if you don't sleep, I will give you a point of exhaustion when next daylight comes.
which is not cool.
And you don't get your spells, but I think we had a rest anyway, somewhere.
You did have a rest, yeah. You all have your spell slots back.
And how about the short rest then? Is that allowed?
You would. Let me take a look. Honestly, there is not really a place here in the environment where you can comfortably sleep. Or rest, to that matter.
Just go out a little bit into the forest.
Yeah, can I go to the tree lady again? Is it possible?
The what now?
The tree lady.
And he
All right,
was never seen
you
again.
walk out of the city, and after a few seconds, for some reason, you walk back in.
Yep, that's. I
God
remember
damn it.
that from my campaign.
I was sleeping with the tree lady then.
I don't think you can reach her. The forest keeps you in here, Charlie.
Okay, I disgruntlingly walked into the inn and placed 3 gold coins on the
Moria
counter.
isn't there, but
God damn it.
it's fine. You just go up where the rest probably went and leave the 3 gold coins there.
Yeah, leave it in front of the skunks.
That's gonna be totally.
Oh god.
Perfect. All right. So, let's just say that an entire night goes through. You've had your nightly rest. At some point, Fomoria goes to each of your doors and knocks faintly, indicating for you to wake up, that she made breakfast, and that the sun has risen. When you all go downstairs again, at the same time, at one table, you see the breakfast laid out. It is just a little bit of tea, a little bit of milk, a little bit of cookies and sweetness, all ready for you to consume.
We ask for beer.
She clicks her tongue. Is like, no beer in the morning, dear.
We want to take it away for later.
You'll have to talk to my husband Nero for that, as he's the one who makes it.
But don't you sell it here? Or do I have to
If I
go to a
had some to sell at the moment, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see now. Where is bum 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 bum.
Peter shares what he learned in the notebook.
What level are you currently, Zolp?
Like 3.5. No, 4.5. 4.5.
4.5. Okay. 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 Okay, yeah. What would you guys like to do? I will reiterate a few points of interest again, which are the line of people at the edge of town, considering that you might have left the inn outside, you would see the line of people at the edge of town again. You would see the statue at the middle. Curiously, there is a lone figure at this time in the middle with the statue. And of course, the Nero's shop is also there.
Zol would like to go to the shop for obvious reasons.
Alright, just place your character where you would like your character to go.
Yeah, I'll go and Meet up with the mysterious figure.
I'll follow Peter.
Right.
I'm still not over my 3 gold, by the way.
There.
Okay. Let's just start with Zolp then, for the quickness of it. As you approach the door and try to push it open, you see that it's not open.
Oh.
We knock really, really hard.
You knock really, really hard, no response.
We knock harder with a hammer.
Jesus Christ!
You knock harder with a hammer, make a dent in the
Oh,
in the door, but no response.
We leave.
God.
All
Do I
right.
add a misfortune point because of this?
We'll see what'll happen later.
We don't get there in time to hear what they happen, so I'll just stay back here.
So this happens around the same time. So as Zolp is doing his shenanigans over there, you guys do approach the statue again, and there is actually a small little girl, an elvish little girl with typical long blonde hair, but it's in a ponytail, and she's clutching a little teddy bear in front of her. Sorry, what am I saying? Not a little teddy bear, a little watch in her hand, and was still looking at the just intently looking at the statue.
Do we see that she's keep holding the watch?
Yeah, it's holding the watch. It's kind of like she's having her palm open, like her both hands over each other with the watch in the palm of her hand, and she's just looking up at the statue with a little forlorn look. Charles, I would like for you to do a history check.
I'll do a history check.
All right. You remember that the size and the form of the figure that yesterday was sneaking up behind you is the same as the figure you're looking at right now.
Okay. I don't mention anything and keep my mouth shut.
All right.
I call out to the little girl. You wouldn't happen to be Flora, would you?
She looks around, and she keeps the clock close to her, the watch close to her chest, and she doesn't do anything. She just looks fearful to you.
Do not be scared, or I am completely harmless.
You're rolling a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Oh.
Not that I'm surprised.
She starts to back away.
I'll back away as well.
Just as you stop approaching, she also stops moving away. She just looks at you intently.
I didn't want to do that, sorry.
Is anyone good with children? I am really bad with children.
I have whole person.
Excuse you.
We're not going to kill her and raise her. I mean, I don't know. Am I the least scary looking, or is it the priest?
I mean,
Priest in quotation marks.
I'm hooded. I'm male. You're
I have
female.
wings and horns.
I mean, might as well be a fairy.
That's one fucked up fairy.
Right. I'll approach her and tell her.
As you approach her, though, her eyes kind of like open up a bit more like in awe rather than in fear. As she.
I'll be doing the fairy thing. Okay. Okay, I love it. Okay, I get down on one knee and I tell her, don't worry about it, we're not gonna hurt you. Tell us what happened. We can maybe help you.
She kind of like takes deep breaths, um, like she isn't really sure, and then she pockets the watch and makes multiple hand gestures in front of your face.
What does it look like? What is like? Is she pointing to come towards me, or is it just throwing her arms?
Roll me a history check
History
with advantage
check.
in your situation. Okay, she's using sign language. You remember in many of your books that you read from your master before that there are people who use a certain language with their hands because either they are too scared to talk or are mute.
Okay, I ask her if she can write.
She says no with her just a nod of her head left to right.
But too easy. Can you show us what the problem is, or can we somehow communicate? I also share with the others that I believe she is.
She nods towards you that there is a possibility, possibly, and then she points to the line of people at the edge of the forest.
I look at the group and I tell them I think she is deaf, but she wants us to go to the line of the people over
How
there.
is she deaf if she understood what you said?
She's mute. Sorry, she's mute. I mixed those two up.
I was like, did I explain something wrong?
No. You're right. Sorry. Yeah. And I reach out in hand and gesture that we can go there.
She hesitantly though takes your hand and, kind of like somebody who's holding a child's hand, for safety.
Okay. Then I guess she leads us to these people.
She leads you into the forest and eats you.
So at this point, Zolb, you can approach them as well, right? As she takes the hand of the kid.
Do you want the kid, Zolb? I think she might like your pet.
Her face crunches into a disgusting sneer, I suppose. It's like when she sees the makeshift beard or whatever it is. And then she goes like, bleh.
Zolb strokes it proudly.
Strokes what proudly?
His rat beard.
Oh, okay. So, so you can all approach the line of people at the end of the edge of the forest. She particularly goes towards the center one, like the center one over here.
Okay.
And the closer you're starting to go, the more she's actually starting to cry. And as you approach, you will indeed all see just all people holding hands with each other, looking towards the forest. You're all still behind these people. Now, the person here at the center and the person over here are too far away to keep their hands locked. There is a missing person in the middle of these two. And as you approach the side to look in front, Sabine, you are met with a horrific sight.
I know.
The trees, the vines, the roots have actually gone up towards the people who are looking at the forest and almost like fused or went into their flesh, through their skulls, through their eyes, through their mouths, in whatever shape or form, and are currently sort of consuming the people from the front side. They are all dead.
Mm-hmm.
They're all still standing up as the trees are keeping them upwards. As you see this visage, you do hear the choked sobs of the little child next to you, as she is still looking at that specific figure that she pointed you towards.
Can anyone talk with the dead or anything? Got any necromancers in here?
I'm not that far yet.
Give me a few levels.
I don't think their souls are still here, Skux.
I don't think I can even revivify them.
I look at the kid and ask her, is this someone from your family?
She like sniffs up a little bit of like snot that's stuck in her nose, and then she nods her head.
Mm-hmm. And the person that's missing here, were you standing here?
She nods yes.
All right. Can you make me understand why you are able to move away and seem fine, and the others were not?
She looks a bit in confusion, unsure of how to communicate on that part. Instead, she points towards a pouch that is on the person she's pointing at. It's a
Well,
fairly biggish pouch.
I ask her if it's okay if I take that one and open it.
She nods yes.
Let's open it.
There is a single book in it.
Okay. I would like to look at the book from the outside. What does it look like?
There is a simple text, a simple title on it called Sign Language.
Perfect. I love it. I love it. Okay.
All right. So, for the sake of communication and a sort of realism, for you to learn what is in that book, considering your history with books themselves, you will have to spend an amount of time learning that book before you can communicate normally with her specifically. So right now you won't be able to communicate unless it's with nonverbal and other ways of communication. I suppose also for Peter will also be at the same speed of learning something.
Yeah, I show the book to Peter and get him up to speed. The little girl, she wants us to have this book. It's sign language. It might help us communicate with her, but I suppose just opening the book will not magically give us that information. We'll have to study it.
Oh, I like studying, but it's quite troublesome.
Yeah,
Alright.
I will pocket the book and tell them whenever we have breaks, we should read some about this.
Yep, I'm all up for it.
She just keeps looking now.
Do you want to stay with us?
She looks up at you and then looks at the Fomorius Inn and she points at it, and then she points at herself.
You want to stay at the inn?
She nods.
Okay.
Do you have 2 gold?
I don't think that will be the problem.
She lets go of your hand. Before she goes away, she hugs your leg a little bit, and then she runs towards the inn.
Well, that was a strange moment.
And as for Charles's question, you will have to do an investigation or a medicine check or an arcana check or anything that you think would be appropriate considering this situation.
Then I guess I'll do a medicine check.
I hope he says
They're
so.
dead, Jim.
Yeah, it's like they have a hole in their body.
They are literally dead as fuck.
Oh.
They are
Okay, can I
being,
burn their corpses at least?
Whoa.
Can we loot their corpses first, please?
To be a bit more specific, some of the trees in front of you have faces in their branches, in the bark of the trees.
That's not creepy at all.
So burn it?
If you tried to burn it, I would stop you.
Okay, then I won't.
We're
burn it.
literally in a forest and you're starting a fire.
It's a quick way to suicide.
Yeah.
Especially with a forest that is alive and doesn't like fire.
Did you forget that the elves have already tried to burn the forest?
That is true.
Yeah.
Famoria did say to Zolp and Dolvain that they tried to burn the forest, but that nothing happens. The trees just go back, or the flames stop working. Zolp knows this. Don't know if Zolp will communicate this with the rest of the team or not.
So forgot this. Let's go. Huge.
Fire didn't work. It wasn't particularly up Zol's street.
Okay.
Well,
What would you guys like to do now?
Zol still wants to check if they've got anything on them.
You'll find that there is nothing out of the interest. No, you won't find anything specifically from these people other than the book that was just noticed.
Okay.
Well. What are we
Well-
going to do?
So we can either go back, see the girl, or we can't actually exit. It seems with Charles' attempt last night.
No, we cannot. I, by the way, relayed this to the group that we cannot leave through the front gate because I tried that